Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am your host, Will O'Connor. We are back here. What's Not Sports podcast. It is game day origin. Sorry, I was meant to try and get this out last night and it just did not happen. I am currently just playing around a little bit with some new podcast equipment. You can see the stand. We actually have a new audio recorder type thing. It's really going to be good for interviews and when we have second people in the studio. But I am very much so struggling with it a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay because that happens. And I'm definitely okay with that. But we've got a lot to get through. I'm sorry. I do apologize in advance if it is just a little bit, I don't know, it doesn't sound right because we'll get there. And look, more things are happening to the studio. We are definitely improving it. It's looking cleaner. It's going to get cleaner and it's just going to get better. And that's the way it is. But important stuff, Origin today. We'll quickly run through what we had for round 12 of the NRL. We'll talk about the enhanced games. We'll talk about round 13. Then we got to talk about Origin. That's the big thing. That's what you're here for. It's Origin day today, and I am behind the ball, and I apologise. And look, that is on me, but we're here to make it right. We are here for Queensland, and we're here for you. So welcome to episode 72 of The Pulse of What's Not Sports, and we're here for the Pulse check. So we'll jump into it. We'll preview or review round 12. We'll preview round 13. We'll talk a little bit enhanced games. And we'll finish off with what we're all here for, Origin. So if you just want Origin chatter, just skip to the end of the pod. But yeah. So round 12. Look, we went 3 for 5 tips. Major buy round. Did a lot to tip on. Couple disappointing surprise. Like this round was the round we could have gone 100% on tipping. And it was my Raiders that let me down. It was the Storm that let me down. So that's crazy. To point out, there was only one game. So 80% of the games, the winning team scored 30 points or more. That's what I mean about if you're not going to score 30 points, the opposition will. And that's how they win. And it's 80% right, at least for this round. We'll see more in the next round, see if it remains truthful on that. But that's the vibe I'm getting from this game of footy. But Raiders versus Finns, Dogs versus Storm, Dragons versus Wars, Manly versus Titans, and the Cowboys versus South. You had the Raiders tip. The Dolphins got the win over us, unfortunately. Look, there definitely was a bit of a struggle for both sides, both missing key players. Dolphins having 4 out for Origin, 2 out for injury. And then you look at the Raiders, yes, we only had Hudson Young and Ethan Stranger for Origin, but we still have a very, very impacted side that is still quite injured. But no Matty Nicholson, no Papali, no Noah Martin, who has been so good. Simi Sasangi was absolutely incredible so far this season. So, yes, I feel like we are, and there's more on that list that we are missing. But there were some calls I definitely think were wrong. A lot of people do. I think they're wrong in the fact that the reffing is inconsistent. That's what pisses me off. That's what really grinds my gears. If you're going to do the same thing every game of every round of every week, I'm happy with that. If that's the rules, but don't willy-nilly chop and change the rules to make it matter for you. That's what gets me, and that's what peeves me. So, but that's okay. We'll move on from the game. Dogs Storm. This is actually a very exciting game, and look, I didn't find it so exciting like it as what it should have, and that could have just been me because I wasn't too invested in it. But it was a very close scoring game. Yes, we know that. And then we also look, and the game had a lot of errors and penalties and things like that, and I think that's what turned me off it. that's why I didn't get too excited about the game. Well, that's what I think at least. But yeah, the Dogs got the win over the Storm. Didn't think that would happen, but it did. Manly versus Titans. This game was way too close, 12-10. Manly have been dominating the comp since Foz came in as head coach, and they didn't dominate the Titans. So that was very surprising, and I don't know how I feel about that. I just, Titans, they could show up, man. They could show up and they come unannounced and you get caught off guard and the Titans get another win. Cowboys versus South. I skipped Dragons versus Warriors. Dragons versus Warriors, RTS, ACL, career ending, potentially is what I'm saying, which is very, very unfortunate. And all love goes out to him. The Wars pump the Dragons. They're not missing a beat without Tanner Boyd, in all honesty, which is incredible for the depth of the Wars. Just insane stuff there. Cowboys versus South. They did 2-point field goal. That was kind of rogue. It was a pretty dominant win by the Cowboys. And look, we're going to need to please explain. Freddie Fiddler, could call him something else, but calling out Chester, Tom Chester making a breakaway, forward pass, the Channel 9 commentary from Freddie. And I quote, Chester the molester. Wow. Should we start calling Freddie the Fiddler? No. That's wild. But why is that? Why did that happen? How do you slip up like that? You've been doing media for a long time, Freddie, and that is just insane. I don't know how you get that so wrong. I find it hilarious, and a lot of people do. You do need to apologise to poor Chester, Tom Chester. It was funny, but yeah. Clifford's been so dominant for Cowboys. Cowboys, they're looking in stride, which is awesome. So, yeah. Bang. 3 out of 5 tips should really be 5 of our team to perform, but they don't. So we move on to the next game, the next round 13. We got Sharks versus Manly, Knights versus Eels, Tigers versus Dogs, Storm versus Roosters, Broncos and Dragons, the Milk versus the Cowboys, and Penrith and Wars finishing off. That will be the clash of the that'll be the game. Lights going off, ding, ding, ding. Penrith versus Wars. You heard it here first. Sharks versus Manly. Manly, they're going to dominate Sharks. No two ways about it. Knights going to pump the Eels. Ponga's back after Origin. Great. They're off a bye round. A lot of teams are. Tigers versus Dogs. Tigers off the back of a bye round. Not having any players out due to Origin. I think that's correct. So they won't be fatigued at all. They'll show up. Storm versus Roosters. Storm are going to win this one against the Roosters. Munster, Grant, they're back. They're going to pull in the reins. And they're going to do some damage to the Roosters. And it'll be an upset. And I don't think people are actually aren't quite ready for it because the way the Storm have been playing. But just watch it happen. Broncos versus Dragons. The Broncos will beat the Dragons. I don't think the Dragons will ever win a game, at least in the 2026 comp. That's my bet of the week. Take that as a grain of salt. Or should we bet on what round is the first round of get a win? And let's not say the bye round. Raiders versus Cowboys. Raiders, obviously, got to back my boys. They're going to get it. Stranger's back. We've got Savage back last week. Let's see how he performs this week. Hudson Young back. Dane Laurie starting at lock. We dropped Jaden Bailey even out of the bench, extended squad. Jaden Bailey's out. Goodbye. On Paddy's sticking at 14 for hooker. For Tommy Starling, at interchange, could be deadly. I think Dane Laurie will be very suited to lock, the way he was playing at 5'8" last week. There was a lot of good glimpses, but people were calling him a ball hog, which I don't think is fair. He was just running with the ball. But if they do call him a ball hog, I honestly think Locke will suit him quite well because you're playing in the forward, just hit up, take a run. He's a guy that likes to run. He doesn't care about the tough hits. So yeah, really excited to see that. The poor bloke, he is shifted around and around on the field. I think he played a bit of second row in one of the games that we had Simi injured. I think that was a Penrith game. I'm not 100% sure. There was another game, so I think he's a fullback. I can play wing, probably play in the centres. He can play 6. He can probably play 7. I know they run trial matches of him in the halves. He's now playing lock, second row. Honestly, chuck him in the middles. Let's see what happens. The Dan Laurie, our goat. Not quite, but nonetheless, huge stuff for the Raiders. And yeah, and then Penrith Wars. I am honestly, look, this was a tricky one because on the team list they've got Cleary and I got the Panthers boys listed the Origin boys, so Casey McLean or Maguire, Nathan and Brian Toto. I've got them listed as reserves, so the way on the extended bench, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th man. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just leaving him out and they bring him in. So that's the only reason why I'm tipping the Panthers here. If Nathan Cleary, Brian Toto, and Casey McLean don't play, the Wilds it says all day, and that's that. But yeah, there you go. Those are my tips for round 3. Bang, done. Let's talk enhanced games. I think it was unsuccessful. Only one world record broken, and there's thoughts that was extra cheated with the clock stopping early. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what. Multiple clean athletes did win their races. 100-meter men's sprint. I think it was a 100-meter backstroke as well. They didn't break world records, but they won $250,000, $250,000 USD, mind you. That's huge. And being clean athletes, it was also wow, that's insane. Notes to take on the pool. James Madison, the missile. I was a bit disappointed with his performance, but I guess is what it is. I don't know what you do now. The pool was definitely a slow pool. If you're going to dope to the fullest and you want to break world records, you're going to do it in super suits. Why are you doing a 4-lane 50-meter pool? That's ridiculous. Would we have seen the 50 butterfly, I think nearly got, or the 100 butterfly was 0.01 off, I think, in the men's. Change the pool, probably gets the win now. Probably gets $1 million. So I would be a bit stiff on that. But again, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens next with the enhanced games. And yeah, crazy. Now, let's forget all that. It's the only reason why we're here. We're here for State of Origin. That's the only thing we care about. Obviously, Queensland to win 13 plus. I'm nervous. Not really. I wasn't nervous. And then Mitch Moses was injured. And my guy, they call him the talent. TT, one might say. Niche reference if you get that. But Ethan Strange stepping up into the 5'8" role. Now, I think this is the first time in Origin history that Nathan Cleary has played with a pure 6. I'm not 100% sure on that because it's always been he's playing with Luai or he's playing with Mitch Moses. I also want to see who I should have done. That's on me. I should have looked into this. Who has Nathan Cleary played in the halves with at Origin? That is the question. Like, he's played with James Maloney, Cody Walker, like a little bit, not enough, but the guys that he's done the majority of his work in the halves with, Jerome Law and Mitch Moses, they are not pure sixes. Like, Jerome is more of a pure six, I would say. He's more of a six than he is a seven, but still he's not that. I don't think he is a pure 5'8", in my personal opinion. Mitch Moses, obviously a seven, and he can play that six role, and they share the kicking around and all that, and Moses does have a good boot on him and all that, but I think having a pure running six, like our boy Ethan Strange, I say our boy because I am, my blood is marooned today, but I do bleed green, and I do love what Ethan Strange does. I look at him, and ever since he started playing first grade, I looked at him and I go, that is an Origin player. And how do you define an Origin player? Well, you just know. You look at Queensland and you look at these guys, and the majority of them, if not all of them, for years and years, you look at them and go, they know how. They get Origin, and they're built for it. They're an Origin player, and like they step up to the occasion. Like Nathan Cleary not yet has proven himself as an Origin player. He quote unquote does not get Origin, and like I feel bad saying that to a point, but then again, it is the truth, and the truth hurts. And I'm sorry, Nathan, but that is what it is. But I don't want to get too off topic on that. But I more mean in the sense that they've just got that grit, they've got that dog in them, and Harry Grant's got that, Munster's got that. Like, you look at all the greats, they've got it. Ponga like steps up. We all know, if you're a Queenslander, you know what built for Origin is, because so many of them are built for Origin. New South Wales, though, I don't think you can say the same. There's only a handful of players that you can go are built for Origin. And honestly, Mitch Moses, I think he is built for Origin. And I'm gonna say that honestly, but that's as a halfback. If Nathan Cleary's set up, I think Mitch Moses. I honestly think Mitch Moses, Ethan Strange could be the pairing that you want, but because they're both Origin players. You look at Bradman Best, he is a scary man. Not only that, he is built for Origin. It's just guys like that, and you can't explain it. Well, I have, but it's just, you just know. And yeah, Ethan Strange, he is built for Origin, and we all know that. We can all tell that, and that's what scares me. I'm assuming he will be playing on the right side, his preferred side. So his right foot step is going to come in. It's going to be super deadly. Teammate, clubmate Hudson Young, he's also going to be on that right side. We know how deadly those two are together. As a Canberra Raiders supporter, those two were menaces last year playing on that right side. And it's going to kill me because I love the fact that those two boys are Origin. And like Hudson Young, he's an Origin player. He hasn't had his flowers yet in Origin because he hasn't had the opportunity, but we'll see it tonight, I think. Maybe. I hope not as a Queenslander, but I just do like seeing the players that I love do well. Except in Origin, maybe a bit of controversy there, but that's going to be super scary. That gives Cleary full control over whatever he wants. Kick game, like, it'll be a bit club level because, players telling he doesn't do any of the kicking. Like, I think this adds to Nathan's game. The fact that he's got full control over everything, and that makes him a bit more deadly. And Ethan Strange, honestly, he might just run the ball, might not even pass to the first 40 minutes. Like, that's what could happen. That's what scares me as a Queenslander. But we do have fantastic centres, obviously, the Hammer and Robert Toya. But yeah, that right side, New South Wales, is the big danger warning for Queensland to go, we need to lock in, we need to watch that. And look, I'm going to stop glazing because I think I'm glazing a little bit. I love Origin footy. I could talk about it all day. But congratulations, Ethan Strange, on making your debut tonight. Whew. Now, Queensland will win. Do we see traditional Origin reffing? I don't know. Do we see what's going on in the game right now? A lot of 6 against, a lot of points scored. Are we looking at a game that could be 34-30 or 32-30 or 38-36? Are we looking at a ridiculous margin, like not margin, but points scored like that? Imagine 38-36. That is 74 points scored in Origin in game 1. That's insane. I don't know what to expect, but I do know Queensland just do Queensland stuff. That's what they do. That's what they're known to do. They like to defy the odds. Where the underdogs again, according to the bookies, we just get Origin. I honestly think every time I look at the Queensland lineup, it just gets better. Every time I look at it, I'm like, okay, these players can actually perform. So Jojo Fifita to score a hat trick tonight. He's going to get the Wally Lewis medal and get on it, and everyone become richer. But no, in all seriousness, I do think we will see at least. I think we could see a scoreline total. So total points scored will be 50 points or more. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're going over that 45, 49.5. We're going over. We're taking the over on that. Just because of how the game's going. I think Ethan Stranger gets to try. I definitely think that we see Selwyn Cobbo get one, the Hammer get one, Ponga get one. Those guys, they're definitely going to be threats. We definitely have the advantage on the aerials. Like, we got 2 massive wingers compared to, the wingers New South Wales Toho. They can jump, they can do all that, but we just got the height. I think we are going to be a threat. We get the win here. We wrap up the series in Melbourne. That'll be pretty awesome. And then game 3, we clean sweep it. So that is Origin for you. The boys, they have a lot more to fight for than just themselves. They're fighting a lot more. They've got a lot of, how do I say it? They've got Dry Arrow they want to fight for. And that's a huge thing for them. Dry Arrow, like an Origin, he's an Origin great for Queensland. And those boys, they know that. So they will know that it's bigger than them, and that they'll want to give more for Dry. And I think that'll be really special, and it'll be emotional, and the boys will get fired up, and they'll win Origin, take the dub. Yeah. Some other serious betting though, well, tips. Sorry to switch up, but that's just Queensland spirit. But I'm telling you right now, Victor Radley, what happens first? He hits someone high. They get sent off for a HIA. He gets hit high, gets sent off for an HIA, or has a high contact clash, or a head clash, something like that. He gets sent to the bin, 10 in the bin, or he gets sent off. What are we seeing first from Victor Radley? What are we seeing first? Or do we see 10? I wish there was markets for this. This is interesting stuff. Do we see someone that the first AFB to be the first, well, part of the new eligibility rules? Imagine if he scored. That would be insane. I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to the game. I have a couple 4Xs. Just love some good footy, and go Queensland. That's all I've got to say. Queensland in the heart. Cameron Munster, Sam Walker. Let's see if Sam Walker's got what Alfie Langer did. Let's see what Harry Grant can do. If Harry Grant can do Harry Grant things, like, honestly, put him under the post, a little cheeky grab and go from the rock. Yeah, we know he likes to do that every now and again. Selwyn Cobbo could go for a double. Jojo Fifita for a hat trick. Ponga for a double. Like, that's enough. I've seen it here. I've seen enough. Ruben Cotter for a hat trick. Like, let's do it, guys. Let's honestly show why we are the better side, why we win, and let's show them that we get Origins. Let's show that we give a 4X about you, and let's get the win tonight, boys, because I am, you are, we are Queenslanders. And tonight I will be singing I Yippee Yippee I at the full-time side. Hopefully it's like 40-10 and I can just start singing it with 20 minutes left to go of the game and film it for you guys and put it on the What's Not Sports Instagram page. So, bang, done. There you go. But yeah, in all seriousness, I do think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be relatively close. I think it'll be around that 8 to 10 point mark. Like, it'll be 10 points, give or take. So, go between 12 and 8 points will be the difference. Queensland to win and just to have a great night, guys. Just whether you're Queenslander, whether you're a New South Welshman, just enjoy Origin. That's what that's really what it's about. Just enjoy it tonight. Enjoy being with your mates. Enjoy some awesome footy. Enjoy representing and feeling good for your state, your Origin, and just go Queensland. And that's the end of this episode of the What's On Sports podcast. Go Queensland. I Yippee Yippee I. I'll see you in the next one.